Hi and hello everyone. Welcome to Pop and Culture episode 33. I'm Adrian.
And I'm Jay.
And this is our good friend Beer.
Beer's my best friend.
Aw, that's sweet.
Well, wait.
Wouldn't whiskey be
I was
your
going to
best
say, I
friend?
think whiskey.
Yeah.
Beer's like that person that we let hang out with us sometimes.
No, that's gin. Gin is just kind of there in a
gin's
worst
like-
case scenario.
Gin's that person you run into the party sometimes, and you're like, I'll play nice, but after I leave, I'm not talking to you anymore.
Yeah, like whiskey's my homeboy, but if whiskey for some reason has like plans, then I'll go to a beer.
Yeah.
He's not just on the side.
Right. Yeah.
But this beer in particularly, I have so many mixed feelings about.
Okay.
It is the Elysian Super Fuzz Blood Orange Pale. So I saw this bottle Monday, and I'm like, ooh, the bottle looks so dumb. And then I was like, ooh, but Blood Orange Pale sounds delightful. Oh, yeah. And then I read the description.
No, I'm not even on the description.
super
I
annoyed.
don't think. Is that the description on the side there?
Yeah.
Oh,
Ready for this?
okay.
Gronk this. What if the world were an orange? A blood orange with hop cones orbited around it, and it's all like an atom.
Wow.
Right?
See, all I saw was, because the text is in different colors, so the only thing I saw was grok this. And I'm like, what? What is grok?
It must be something before our time. Meanwhile,
Is that
this
like peep this?
heard that.
Jive turkey?
Whoa.
Whoa.
There's no need for talk like that. This
Talking
is-
about Shaft.
Oh, I can dig it. All right.
You sure you're not white? I'm just saying.
It's funny. Jess and I have been having the discussion of how she cannot say "bye, Felicia" properly
Okay.
because she can't. Yeah, my wife is just so white.
I feel like if
It's
she said it,
adorable.
it just comes out as this like very courteous, like salutation.
It's just like "bye, Felicia."
Bye, Felicia. See you at the tea party next week.
Yeah, and you're like "bye, Felicia." No, thank you.
All right. So what is this all about?
It is a blood orange pale,
All right.
and it is delightful. No.
I don't know that I would say delightful.
Oh, delightful.
Oh.
Do you like mayonnaise?
I'm not huge on mayonnaise.
I guess you're not really huge on pales.
No,
you live
I'm
in the
not.
Porterland.
I do. I'm dark.
I don't like IPAs as much as I like a pale.
Right.
Ideally, my favorite is a nice light nut brown, but this I find to be exquisite.
It's not bad, not at all. Yeah, I don't think I would reach for it off the shelf.
I have twice this
Yeah,
week.
I
now.
saw you reach for it just an hour ago.
Yeah, and in fact, I have another bottle to buy for a friend of mine.
Okay.
So it's gonna happen.
All right.
So let's move on to music. That's right, music.
I like where this is going.
I listened to the new Mumford & Sons album this morning.
I have not listened to it yet.
Totally different from any Mumford & Sons.
Really?
Yeah. Like even his voice is a little different. Like there's less of an accent. You know how there was always that, I don't want to call it a twanginess to some of the music,
Mhm.
but folksy.
I always considered them like washboard pop.
Yep.
They had a lot of those folksy, like backwoods elements, but it was very radio centric.
Very much less folksy.
Okay.
It's more, I would still call it folksy. It's not like Lumineers folksy.
Okay.
But it is less washboard, a little bit more pop.
So is it less Lumineers, more Avett Brothers?
That is a very apt way to describe it. Yes.
All right.
Yes. Less Lumineers, more Avett Brothers, slightly of Mice and Men,
Okay.
who also have a new album.
Yes.
I have not listened to
I
it.
have heard the lead track off that. It's pretty good.
That's all I've heard as well.
I may have to pick up the vinyl of the Mumford & Sons.
It's good. I like it, man. Like, thanks to my Spotify account, I can listen to it, the whole
Right.
album, interruptions free.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay.
I dig it.
I've been listening to a lot of Gary Clark Jr. lately, which I don't know if you're familiar.
I know the name, but I couldn't place any song.
I forget. Did you watch the movie Chef?
Did not.
That's where I found him.
Okay.
He's in that. But so I was looking up. Jess and I are both really into it now. I played him for her, and she's into it now. So we were curious if he was on tour. So I looked it up, and I noticed that he's going to be in Vancouver, BC, in September.
Oh, about mid-September?
But September 11th, in fact.
Oh, well, that would be a good time to be in Vancouver,
right.
not the States.
Coincidentally, the Foo Fighters are also in Vancouver on September 11th.
Shut up.
Gary Clark Jr. is opening up for the Foo Fighters to the show that I already have.
You have tickets to that?
Yeah.
Oh,
so that worked
damn.
out great for me.
Also, so jealous that you're going to the Foo Fighters.
Yes.
I love the Foo Fighters.
I enjoy them.
Unfortunately, I cannot make that trip. Okay. Yeah. There was one other. Oh, Airborne Toxic event, which I love.
Yes.
They're going to be at Bumbershoot.
Oh, really?
Yes. Have you ever been to Bumbershoot?
I have not. I've always wanted to go. I got stuck in Bumbershoot traffic one time, and that's the closest I've been to actually being to the show.
So I saw them 3 months ago.
Okay.
At the Showbox, Soto.
Yeah.
And it was a great concert. Really enjoyed it. I know Bumbershoot, it's just a generic stage. So they don't have kind of their feel to it.
Right.
B, it's a much smaller concert because they have other...
Shorter, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not sure if I want to go or not.
I want to say Bumbershoot has 2 stages.
I think it has 4.
Okay. At least more than one.
It has more than one.
So
the question is, I don't know what stage they're going to be on.
Yes.
Everyone else who's at Bumbershoot that day, hit or miss on the feeling about it. I would be going just to see them primarily.
Okay.
I would stay for the whole show because
that's what you do.
I paid. I'm going to watch it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
you may discover new bands that you enjoy.
It's how I discovered Minus the Bear.
There you go.
They opened for Foo Fighters when I saw them a couple years ago.
Yep.
Which is funny because the girl I was dating at the time asked me who the openers were because we were going to the Foo Fighters concert. I'm like, I have no idea. And her being super hipster was when she found out it was Minus the Bear,
she was more excited about that than Foo Fighters.
She really was, and that's when I knew this relationship was going nowhere.
Yeah.
Nowhere.
Although I've found some very great bands as openers that I was not really looking forward to. There was a band Under the Influence of Giants. Weird band, some kind of out there music. Totally dug them when I saw them as openers for Mute Math.
Okay.
Most of the members of Under the Influence of Giants are now what we know as AWOL Nation.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So
I also have not brought myself to listen to a whole album of AWOL Nation.
Oh, I won't. I will not.
Right? I just can't do it.
Yeah.
No. All right.
Okay.
Good to know, though.
Should we move on from music and go towards some of this other stuff?
Stuff like television?
Television is one of those things.
I do like TV. I do like TV.
I do.
What have you been watching, bud?
I've actually not watched as much in the last week as I usually do. I'm still working through some comics that I got last week that I talked about, so I haven't watched so much TV. But we did watch. What did we watch? We watched last week's Arrow and Flash, so we haven't seen this week's yet.
Oh, you really haven't?
Might be about it. We haven't watched Game of Thrones yet.
Okay.
We haven't watched this week's Flash. We're 3 weeks behind on the following, and it's actually I think it ended this week. So yeah, I really have not been watching much TV.
Interesting.
I watched an episode of The Tudors, and that's about it.
Okay. I'm also watched all the Flash, but this week's because it comes out yesterday.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about it? Where it's at now with the whole Harrison Wells not being Harrison Wells taking over the Eobard thing, taking over Harrison Wells' body,
right,
to be the Reverse Flash, and now clearly Barry is aware of Crisis on Infinite Earth,
right,
and is gonna play it all out. How are you feeling about that?
So at first I was like, why are you giving away all this stuff so early? And then I realized we only have 3 episodes left in this season.
Yep.
So okay, that makes sense that this is kind of been building for the whole season, and now that's going to be the final confrontation at the end of the season. Because
then you have Grodd in season 2.
Right. Which apparently Grodd was the main bad person in yesterday's episode.
Okay.
It's called Grodd Lives or Grodd Speaks or something like that. So they've brought him out of the shadows of the sewers, and now he'll be more in it next season. So I don't know. I've liked it. There was a couple episodes there where I was kind of hesitant, but I think overall, in retrospect of the whole season, I think it's done a pretty good job.
I've also been enjoying it. I'm intrigued by the time travel. I don't want it to become a time travel show. I don't
No.
need Quantum Leap. You know what I mean?
Ziggy shows up.
So I'm interested to see what happens. I've been enjoying it well enough to keep
Do you
going.
imagine if Cisco just invents Ziggy?
Oh my god.
How great would that be? He just walks into the room with Scar. He's like, Barry, look what I made.
Like, even if it was just I created this program called Ziggy to help you travel through
Yeah.
time, holding a cigar would be enough for me to be like, I love everything about what just happened.
Yeah.
So I hope they don't rely on it as a crutch, but I've been enjoying it. I've also been enjoying the last season of Sons of Anarchy.
It's about damn time.
Right. It's finally on Netflix.
Yeah, I know.
So I've been powering through. I think I'm 7 episodes in.
Okay.
I won't spoil it because I know some of our viewers and or listeners, I don't know how you all partake of the show.
They listen to the video.
Listen.
No, it's true. It's true.
Okay.
They bring up the YouTube page, minimize it, and just listen to the video. We have audio, guys. Come on.
Seriously, just subscribe to us on iTunes. Anyways, I won't spoil anything of what happened, of where I'm at. It's been super good. I will give you some time to catch up to be where I'm at. I am a couple episodes ahead of you, but I'm only giving you 2 more weeks until some spoilers come out. So catch up.
Okay.
I feel like that's fair, right?
Yeah, no, that's good.
Totally
I
fair.
mean, the show's not even over 6 months. It's not like
Right? At this point, I can tell him
Right.
everything that's
I'm
happened.
pretty sure the internet rule is just 3 days after airing, right? Something like
I
that.
live tweet everything I watch, so
There
there you go.
Star Wars. Anyways, anything else for TV for you before we move on to movies?
Just my regular shows, like I love Bob's Burgers, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Oh, Last Man on Earth. I just watched the season finale of that.
Oh, it's over.
It is. Season 1 is over. It's already been greenlit for season 2.
Of course.
I started out really disliking that show. Like, really disliking
I already
that
really
show.
dislike it, and I haven't even watched an episode.
Now that the season's over, looking back, I liked it well enough.
Okay.
It started off really slow, and it built, and then it had a couple. Him as a character never went anyplace.
No.
Like, I could tell you everything he was going to do throughout the whole episode because he is very one-dimensional.
Okay.
But the surrounding casts, they're a little bit more fluctuating. So they kind of made up for him being one-dimensional, everyone else around him developing. So it actually just ended with... What's up?
I was just going to ask, did they ever say why he's the last man on Earth?
He's not.
Okay, well.
He's not.
Okay.
So we now have...
Okay, let me rephrase that. Did they ever say where everybody else on Earth disappeared to?
It was some virus that just killed everybody.
Oh.
Like,
okay.
Like, it was very much just like, virus, kill everybody, deal with it. So then we find out the main character, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 females alive and 2 other males. So we're at 4 females and 3 males right now.
Okay.
And at the cliffhanger, we find out there's another male alive. As he decides he's now leaving Tucson, which is where this whole season 1's taking place, and they're going somewhere else.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, once all the season finales happen and we're into summer TV, it's one that I'll probably try at least the first episode for.
You can't. Like, the first 2 episodes are horrible. Like, bad.
How many episodes in season 13?
12.
Okay. That's not bad.
No,
Half
it's not
hour
bad.
or hour long?
Half hour.
Okay.
So 22 minutes.
There we go. I'll watch it.
It
I'll
wasn't
watch it over
like-
the summer.
It wasn't like Mulaney. Like, come episode 5 or 6 of Mulaney, like, I tapped out.
Yeah.
I could not do it anymore. And now that Hulu has Seinfeld, it's pretty much a better version of what Mulaney was trying
Right.
to do. So screw it.
For $100 or $1 million an episode.
Yeah. And they also now have all the Adult Swim Comedy Central stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Aqua Teen Hunger Force?
Yep. It's so good. I still know the theme song.
I don't know that I ever knew the theme song.
Oh, really?
Like, I'm sure if I heard it, I'd be like, oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I can also sing the I Want Candy song. Yeah, I love Aqua Teen. Because it's only 12 minutes an episode.
Oh, yeah.
So
It's
it's
awesome.
a great, you're like, look, I got 10 minutes to burn. Throw a quick episode of
Yeah,
that
yeah.
and go. The other show we've been watching is Weird Loners.
Okay. And I only watched the first episode, and I wasn't terribly impressed.
I have not. Justin and I talked about this last night because we're all the way caught up.
Okay.
And I told him, like, I don't love this show, but I want to keep watching to find out what happens. And she goes, oh my God, me too. She goes, every time you're like, let's watch it. I'm like, it's just an okay show.
And then it's on, and you're just like, hooked.
Yeah. It's really weird. Like, I know it's not good.
Right.
I'm just super curious as to what's going to happen.
Yeah. That's a lot of the shows I got through on Netflix. That's what it was. Like, I watched The Cape. Horrible show.
No.
And it's one of those things where I'm like, it's 10 episodes. I can just get through it. And I'd put it on, and I'd get sucked in. And the show ended on like an amazing cliffhanger. And then it was just done.
I think they wrapped it up in the DVD. If you have the DVD set, I think
Why would I buy the DVD?
I don't. Because these
It's
days.
on Netflix for streaming. I don't need DVDs.
But yeah, that is it for my
Digital
TV.
video discs. I don't even know if that's what it stands for.
As I recall, aren't you the dude who loves vinyls? Those are
Way different. Way
big
different.
DVDs, right?
Way different.
Big black DVDs.
No. Big DVDs we called laser discs.
Isn't vinyl
And
just
you had
the
to
audio
flip
version of the Laserdisc?
No.
Pretty sure it is.
No.
Me and my ignorance, that's what we think it is. Such a hipster, Jay.
I think if you're looking for the equivalent of vinyl, you're looking for VHS or Betamax.
Ooh, beta. Superior quality. We watched the movie.
I think
What?
Laserdisc is like a mini disc. I think that's the audio video equivalent there.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay, we watched a movie.
We did watch a movie. We watched Avengers.
Hells yeah,
Age
we
of
did.
Ultron.
Yeah, we did.
What were your thoughts on it?
I thought it was a really, really good movie,
Okay.
but slightly less good than the original Avengers.
Interesting.
Did
Why?
you prefer 2 over 1? And we had a really good ability to compare because we watched the double feature. We watched one, and then 45 minutes later, we watched 2.
Yes, we did. I really enjoyed both of them.
I'm not saying I didn't.
No,
really
I know.
enjoy them.
I know. But what I'm saying is Age of Ultron was the same movies as Avengers, just with a little bit more quips. But I feel like...
And I think maybe that's... Maybe if I hadn't watched Avengers 1 right beforehand, I would have appreciated it more. But yeah, I felt like it was just... Here's another hour and a half, 2 hours tacked on to the first one with some jokes and a couple of different people on the screen.
It absolutely was. Like, if you liked the first Avengers, you're going to love the second Avengers. It's the same movie, just with, like I said, a couple more jokes. But it's not like the characters are any more developed. The characters went nowhere. They are exact same characters you got in the first one. Exact same relationships. Like,
and the development they tried to do to Black Widow is just pissing everybody on the internet off.
I'm not pissed off about it.
Well, I don't really count you as being on the internet.
I'm
because
not.
You don't have social media.
None. Hold on. What's everyone saying on the internet about Black Widow?
They
Hold on. There'll be spoilers here. Deal with it.
that they tried to make her more of a weak character by giving her like this tragic backstory, and the fact that she was so willing to run away from the fight for love that she didn't really have.
Okay, wait a minute. One, how does a backstory make her a weaker character? It shows the obstacles she overcame to become the Widow.
And I haven't read all of the backlash, but it has something to do with the fact that she can't have children, and that makes her a monster.
No, the whole point was the fact that... So, you find out that they sterilized...
Right.
In the Red Room, where the Black Widow came from, they sterilized them because if they had children, they felt like it would take them away from the mission.
Right.
So they sterilized them. How does that make her a monster in any scenes?
She herself said she was a monster.
No, she didn't say she was a monster because of that.
Well, because of all the stuff that happened in her training. She said... She explains all of it to the person she's talking to. And it's just, so you're not the only monster here.
Yeah, but she wasn't talking about just sterilization.
No.
I mean,
that's part of... Like, that's the thing that people
like,
are taking the big... Yeah, I know. And then people are saying that it's crap that she had to... out of all the characters, she's the one that gets subdued and taken to the... Like, kidnapped and taken to the fortress. Why is it that the woman has to... And I'm just like, calm the fuck down.
So, okay, a couple different things about that. The reason she was the one is because that was what brought the Hulk over.
Right.
So let's start that. Secondly, when she talked about why she was a monster because of all the Red Room, it's because all the killing she had to do.
Right.
The murders, like everything else. Why are you taking about this just one... You removed one piece of the Jenga and then pushed the rest of it over saying it fell down.
It's the internets.
Fuck you, internets. Fuck you.
It caused Josh Whedon to quit Twitter.
Good. Fuck Joss Whedon in the first place. I hate that guy. That's right. I said it. Let the emails pour in.
Oh, there is none. Weird.
That's not true. You know he's going to write an email. Write your email. Go ahead. So
No, you didn't bash on Buffy. You're good.
Ugh. Don't get me started on that. Come on, man. I'm trying to get through Avengers without having to yell.
All right,
So the thing is, she also was not willing to quit for love. Bruce Banner was the one who ran. She didn't. When it came time to run, she instead decided to fight and made him become the Hulk so he could also fight. So she wasn't willing to run either.
I think there was a scene towards the beginning of the whole conflict where she's like, we could just leave.
Yeah, and then when he said, yeah, let's do it,
she's like, no, just kidding.
Yeah, no, we have responsibilities. It was more like a, wouldn't it be nice if we could?
Right.
But we can't, so why don't you fucking buck up?
Yeah. So yeah, that's the whole Black Widow backlash. But anyways,
this is why I hate the internet. It ruins these things for me.
Other than that, what'd you think of it?
Again, like I said, it was the first one all over again.
Okay.
I thought they did a great job with Ultron. I heard a lot of people were unhappy with the dialogue that he had, that it humanized him too much, which I think that was the point.
Right.
I thought the Vision looked a little weak.
I thought he looked fine. You could definitely. The thing that I didn't look at any of the preview images before the movie, but you could definitely tell that was that actor.
That was Paul Bettany.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like you could totally make out his face. And that was one of the things I'm like, how are they going to make him look? But it was totally just Paul Bettany's face with paint on it.
Yes.
So that was interesting.
And I was like, I'm fine with it. Like, I expected the Vision just to be a little bit more mechanical, a little less human. They explained it in the movie. I totally accept it.
Yeah. One thing that I found out that I didn't catch when I watched the movie, you know, at the beginning of the movie when they have the Iron Legion.
Yes.
The voices of all the Iron Legion, also James Spader.
Well, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I didn't. Thinking back, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. It was James Spader with kind of like a mechanized effect on the voice.
Makes sense.
And then when he becomes Ultron, since he took all of the Iron Legion body, like it was still that voice, just a little bit more twisted and distorted.
That's cool.
I thought that was an interesting touch.
Makes sense to me. The one thing about Avengers that bothered me, and I won't say that it bothered me so much as the audience reaction to it. The pithy dialogue. I'm fine with it. Apparently, I don't find it as hilarious as everyone else in the fucking audience does.
No. There were times where I kind of little chuckle, whatever.
A smirk. That was cute.
I was not clapping at dialogue or scenes.
Or just rolling over and just, that was the funniest thing I've ever heard him. No, it wasn't. The funniest thing you've ever heard in your life is this one. You know,
it's not here.
No, this is not the place to tell that joke.
I don't even think the explicit take covers that.
It's the one thing I can't say on the internet. So overall, though,
yeah, it was good.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched it, go watch it. There are parts that were great. There are parts that weren't great. Overall, it was a lot of fun.
And by parts that weren't great, you mean Scarlet Witch?
You did not like Scarlet Witch?
I didn't like that they bastardized everything about her.
Go on, I'm listening.
Well, okay, so I haven't read a lot of Scarlet Witch, but my understanding of her powers is that it's like she can do hexes and she can affect things with luck and things like that.
It was very clear it was not her normal powers.
No, it was more of like Jean Grey's powers.
A little bit.
There's more of almost a telekinetic.
Yep.
And it's a little bit of telepathy where she was screwing with people. Like, I didn't know that she had the ability, and I don't think she does, to induce fear dreams in people.
Yeah, no, they definitely changed her power for this movie. I think it would have been too hard to put onto film her actual powers.
Then don't use her.
They have to use her.
They don't have to use her. They want to use her because that way Fox can't use her.
No, that's not why. That is not why.
Then why?
Notice how they didn't call her Scarlet Witch?
They couldn't.
Just like they didn't call him Quicksilver?
They couldn't.
Which is funny, but in the credits it does say Quicksilver stunt double.
Oh, really? I didn't catch that.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm all like, ooh, Fox. Fox is going to get mad. Also, why they didn't address her, who their real dad is, Magneto.
Right.
But whatever. I get that he wanted to use it. I get that they wanted to introduce another female character into the mix, and they chose to go with Scarlet Witch. She's an iconic Avenger, and she's a female. I get why they went that route.
Well, and there's probably going to lead into the tie with her and the Vision.
Absolutely historical romantic.
There was just a brief moment in this movie where they locked eyes. Nothing really happened between them, but you know that, okay, that's what's gonna happen.
And she also addressed him having a beautiful mind,
Right.
and like you see it's coming.
Yeah.
But yeah, how do you feel about let's jump ships to the other universe, DC, Batman Superman trailer.
Yeah.
Where you at with that?
I enjoy it. I think for a first look teaser trailer, I think it's really good. It doesn't go too much into what the movie is, but it leaves you kind of guessing like what the storyline's going to be. I would be okay if the storyline ended up going in a slightly different direction, but I don't know. I'm okay with it. I think Ben Affleck looks good in the Batsuit.
I agree. We know at the end of this movie, it's the beginning of the Justice League.
Right.
We're well aware that's how it's going to end. I find it interesting that they're making it look like Batman and Superman are going to be mortal enemies, which we're well aware they're not. I also like how they're making it look like Superman is this dictator almost.
Right.
Which we know that's not going to be the case. Unless they go Injustice, in which case that is the case, but it's not going to happen.
How sweet would that be?
Right? Like I said that when we watched it on Friday again. I'm like, if they went straight up like Injustice and made him like Chancellor Superman, fuck yeah.
Absolutely.
Like I'm 100%.
I'm into that.
I would also take the Red Sun.
I would love the Red Sun.
Right?
Like we've talked, like that's what we want to come out of Convergence is Red Sun Superman being the Superman.
Fuck yeah. But I'm worried that they're going to try to keep the movie too dark and just lose some things in it.
I mean, and from that first trailer, you could totally see that happening.
Absolutely.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm curious if it's just the teaser trailer that just like, this is the tone we're giving you now, and then it's going to end up being this other thing.
I've been seeing a lot of images on the internet recently about Superman, Man of Steel.
Oh, yeah.
The colorization, how they actually brighten the color of it.
Yeah.
I think it looks so much better, brighter. It looks more like Superman to me.
Right.
I don't think it should. Superman is not dark. He's
No.
not gritty.
He's not emo.
He's not that character. And I don't want him to be that character, despite, and that's going to lead us where we're into our comic books, where they're going.
Okay.
So let's bridge that gap and talk about our polls this week.
Okay.
You first.
All right. So for those of you that are hiding under a rock or not actually comic fans, you may know that this past Saturday was Free Comic Book Day. Woo! My experience was slightly less exciting than I wanted to. A couple of the comics that I really wanted to read, my shop didn't get because you have to be at a certain tier to get certain books. I don't know how the whole
And
system
plus, you
works.
most people don't realize
And that's why I'm not too upset.
comic stores actually have to pay for the comics they give away on Free Comic Book Day. So be super appreciative if you got comics for Free Comic Day. They paid for those and gave them to you for free.
Right. And I made sure that while I was in there, I did buy some stuff. Like this Spider-Man shirt I'm wearing right now. Brand new. I bought
It
this.
is super sick shirt, by the way.
I also bought a Hawkman shirt. And there was a guy that scoffed at me. He's like, Angel's better. I'm like, fuck you.
What? Whoa.
Fuck you.
Whoa. Did you get his name and follow him with his car and just beat the fuck out of him?
No.
I'll cut his hand off. I'll do it. I've watched Sons. I know how.
He was bigger than I was. So I was like, that's not a fight I'm going to pick.
Okay, that's fair.
Anyways, so at Free Comic Book Day, I did pick up three comics. One of them was actually from 2 years ago, but whatever. I got Divergence #1, which I think we'll talk a little bit about.
Yes, we will.
I got Secret Wars #0, which confused the hell out of me because I don't read Marvel comics. And then from a couple years ago, they had Absolution, which is a comic I've been interested in reading and I've never got around to it. I have it saved on my Comixology wish list, so I figured I could check that out.
I really like Christoph Gage, so I would say
I'm a big fan of his, so that's one of the things that drew me to it. It is from Avatar, which the last experience I had with Avatar was God is Dead, and that went bad real quick because they decided to take it from a limited to an ongoing,
right,
and switch writers.
And therein lies the mistake.
Yeah. As far as actual paid comics I got this week, I got Convergence #5, Convergence Batgirl #2, Convergence Nightwing Oracle #2, Convergence The Titans #2, Jupiter Circle #2. I did get Secret Wars #1.
I'll explain why I'm laughing in a second.
All right, and The Names #9, which is the last issue of that series.
So, Jupiter Circle #2 has come out, right?
Yeah.
Jupiter's
Legacy
is at issue 6 after a year and a half.
Yeah.
Jupiter's Circle is at issue 2 after 2 months.
To be fair, the first 3 issues of Jupiter's Legacy came out month after month after month.
I'm wondering.
And then it was a giant gap.
I'm wondering if he stopped the first one so we could write this one.
Oh, absolutely. The first arc of Jupiter's Circle will be done before you see issue 6 of Jupiter's Legacy.
I have that feeling. Okay. So for my free comic book day, I got Previews Secret War. I got all new, all different Avengers.
I'm sorry. What is Preview Secret War?
Oh,
I saw that. I just assumed it was a copy of Previews that was going to talk about the issues of Secret War.
no. So it tells a little bit story about the Secret War, what brought it about, and then some of the different universes.
That would have made this whole Secret War 0 so much more easier to
notice
understand.
that's Punisher as Doc Strange, but the guns are not the spells. So it just takes place in some of the other universes, kind of telling you what's going to happen in those universes.
I really thought that was just previews. Like, this is what all the Secret Wars tie-ins are going to be.
Nah, man. It tells you a little bit of all the different Secret War, all the different universes.
You see where I would make that mistake,
I absolutely see where you're making that mistake.
All right.
I might be able to score you one.
That's all right.
Okay. All new, all different Avengers, which I have to tell you, I read and totally it was horrible.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
But it breaks my heart because it was Mark Waid.
Oh.
The writing wasn't horrible, but where they're going with the book is horrible.
Okay.
And obviously the writers don't 100% choose that.
Right.
It was bad. Which on the flip side of this is the new Inhumans.
Okay.
I got Boom 10-year celebration.
How was that?
I haven't read it yet.
Okay.
I got Bob's Burgers.
Uh-huh.
Teen Titans Go.
Okay.
Which on the flip side is Scooby-Doo.
Nice.
I also got Divergent like you.
Yes.
Secret Wars 0.
Uh-huh.
Those are my free comic book day comics.
Okay.
The ones I purchased are Convergence number 5, Convergence Superman 2, Convergence Nightwing and Oracle 2, Convergence Justice League 2, Convergence Speed Force 2, Convergence Batman and Robin 2, Convergence The Titans 2, Secret Wars number 1, Amazing Spider-Man 18, The Inhuman Annual, Kanan the Last Padawan.
Oh.
What?
Sorry. Nothing.
Kanan the Last Padawan?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
And then I picked up, because when it was released, my store were damaged copies. I got Red 1, number 2. And I picked up the OGN. For those of you who don't know, an OGN is an original graphic novel. They're not released in singles, just larger format. Batman Earth 1 Volume 2.
Okay.
So, you want to talk about Divergence real fast for my book review?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So, the free comic book day Divergence takes place after Convergence.
How do you feel about that? Let's start with that.
That Divergence, Convergence is the
thing? They're releasing yes, but that they're releasing a comic now that takes place after the big event they're already doing. So you already know how some of this stuff is going to shake out.
They did it last year, too.
And it drove me crazy.
Well, they did it last year with the Trinity War.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm fine with it.
Okay.
100% fine with it. Like, it is what it is. So there's 3 portions in it. One of it was Batman. The other portion was Superman. And the third portion, although is supposed to be Justice League, is pretty much just Wonder Woman.
Okay.
And that does bring you up to what's considered the DC Trinity.
Right.
So let's talk about the first one. Okay. For those of you who follow anything on the internet, all right, I won't lie to you. The first thing I saw when I opened this was Justice League. And I'm like, oh, is there a new season? Are they doing something new?
It's just a new DVD release, right?
No, it's just saying that it is on DVD. I'm like, well, I know. I fucking own it. Thanks. So
but look, you can also get the complete first and second seasons of Batman, the Brave and the Bold.
I'd really rather not.
All right.
Yeah. Like, it's fun to watch every now and then. It's not worth money.
Okay.
So for those of you who follow the internet, you know Bruce Wayne after Convergence is not going to be Batman. We all know it's not going to stick.
For now.
We all know it's not going to stick, and they've even made mention that it is a temporary thing. So essentially what's going on is you've seen this chappy robot-looking Batman.
And this image has been all over.
All over. If you haven't seen Batman with rabbit ears, then you haven't been looking at the internet. And it's released that the person inside the Batman suit, because Batman is believed to be dead after Endgame with the Joker.
Can I mention something real quick?
Yeah.
Did this to you evoke anger? No. Well, yes, but it's very much the Frank Miller Dark Knight Returns.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I saw that. And I'm like, I'd be curious to go back and see if those are like the same reporter-like images.
More that bothered me was the fact that Batman I like it when Batman's an urban legend. People don't know about him.
Right.
So to be reporting about him on the news with images of him
Yeah.
kind of boo-hoos me.
And images of the Joker and
Right.
all that. Yeah.
I like that it was like Joker I would see because he always goes on national broadcast.
That's
and
true.
interrupts.
That's true.
I like to see Jerry Powers because the Powers family is in power over Wayne Tech come Batman Beyond years. So I
Okay.
thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then you find out inside the Batman suit is Jim Gordon,
Right.
Commissioner Gordon.
Yeah, that bothered me because he's not commissioner anymore.
The one thing about it, though, that has never been seen in all the other images is the
GCPD logos. Yeah.
So it does say GCPD
Yeah.
on the bat suit.
So they have the, and I'm gonna assume it's more than one suit that they're gonna do. They're probably gonna have like an elite force of Batmen.
That's kind of what I'm assuming
Yeah.
as well.
So it is good to know that it's not just Jim hanging out in the Batcave with Alfred and
No,
putting on
it
a suit.
is. He is sponsored by the Powers family. It is now a suit that is part of the GCPD, the Gotham City Police Department, and it is a task force.
Right.
Cool. I'm interested to see where it goes.
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
The next one is Superman.
This was fucking horrible.
So essentially what happened is Superman is hanging out with Jimmy Olsen in disguise. He gets attacked by the supervillain. He bails, runs away. Everyone assumes he was dead. You find out in the very last issue, the very last page, that Lois Lane outed Clark Kent
Right.
as Superman.
Yeah.
So that is why those images you've seen of him in just in a t-shirt and jeans, he's no longer trying to be this larger-than-life image because everyone knows who he is.
Okay. And you have not been reading Superman, correct?
I read it in trade,
Okay.
so I'm never 100% current.
And I'm not reading it at all. So this was all like news to me.
So this has not yet happened in the book,
Okay.
at least not where I'm at. Maybe it's going to be in trade number 6.
Okay. And I was assuming this happened before Convergence.
It might have in single issue.
Okay.
So I just picked up Action Comics and Superman hardback number 5 because they came out last week.
Okay.
So hardback number 6 is not going to be for a little while away.
So it could be somewhere in those.
It is
12
possibly
issues.
something. Yep.
Okay.
Superman is one of the books I don't get in single issue. Same with Batman, and it's just because I can't do it.
Okay.
I love Superman. Something fierce. The problem is the Superman book tends to do a lot of arcs that always spawn off into these other books.
Right.
Hell on Earth.
All the
Dooms,
crossovers.
all
yeah.
the crossovers. So instead, I just buy everything in hardback trade because I just picked up Doom, and it has Supergirl in it. It has a Red Lantern issue in it.
Yeah.
It's got some other stuff in it that I don't generally get. So this way, I get the hardback. I read my whole story. I'm good.
Okay.
The last one is Justice League / Wonder Woman. It all takes place on Themyscira. This woman gives birth to a child. Now, you haven't read this yet. So
This is the one story out of this I did not read yet.
woman gives birth to a child. The child is going to be a god. And it now shows us Darkseid fighting the Anti-Monitor in the future where everyone is now
Oh, Batman's got the whole Tron uniform going on.
word.
Yeah.
So, and it shows what's going on. You see traditional Superman, though, in the cape. So, a little curious about what's going to happen there. Because this takes place in Justice League issue number 42,
Okay.
which is called, 41, The Darkseid War. But issue 41 comes out in 3 weeks.
Okay.
So I'm a little curious to see what's going to happen. So that's the prelude to The Darkseid War.
Okay.
And that was the Free Comic Book Day Divergence. Your thoughts on everything? You also read it.
Out of the 2 stories I read, I definitely preferred the Batman story.
Sure.
I will get around to reading that 3rd story probably later tonight. The Superman one, I definitely could have done without. I thought, and like I said, it could be that I'm not reading Superman, so I don't know, but it just seemed pretty bad to me.
So here's the deal. And this is, ever since I've been reading comic books, this is always the way it's been. I love Superman. I love Superman something fierce, okay? But I understand I'm in the minority. Most people don't actually like Superman.
Yeah.
Like, people rock the Superman t-shirts, and they rock stickers and keychains and stuff on their car. All those people don't actually read the Superman comics. They like the Superman look.
Yeah.
Most comic book readers don't like Superman.
Right.
For the exact same reason I love Superman. Because everyone says the same thing. Superman can never be defeated. Superman is just always this goody-goody guy. He's never dark. There's no gritty. It's just fucking clouds, sunshines, and rainbows. Am I wrong?
No. It's totally true.
That's why I love Superman. I love Superman because he's this iconic image of a better person than you could ever achieve to be. That no matter what he is regarded up here. Like he is a beacon of hope and justice throughout the world. Like that's what I love about Superman, the inspiration that is behind him as a character. There was a series came out called For Tomorrow. It was written by Brian Azzarello, the art by Jim Lee. And that whole story was Superman had to come to terms that there was 1 million people in the world who went missing, and Lois was one of those 1 million. And it humanized him in this series. For the first time ever, like you're like, well, where does Superman go for support when there's problems? What happens? Like, how does he deal with this? And it humanizes him, which I love that series because here's this iconic, almost godlike figure that has always risen above, that came down for a little bit just to bring Lois back, and he rose back up above. That's where I want my Superman. I don't want the gritty, dark, buzz cut, like has to be rough and tumble. Why? I have Batman for that. They're two different characters for a reason. I don't want them to be the same person. So I'm a little on where this is going. I hope they bring Superman back to the way he was pre-DC 52. Like, I know he was hokey. I know he was silly. I know he's not, for our times. That's the point.
Okay.
Your book.
So I'm just really briefly going to touch on The Names number 9.
Please do.
This is a book that when it first came out, I was kind of excited about it. I loved the concept of it. The first issue or two, I was totally in. And then it just started getting into all this weird stuff where the story stopped making sense. And there was that one real bad cover. And then, it was originally supposed to be 8 issues. They extended it to a 9th issue for some reason. I can't figure out why. But this is the last issue, and it wrapped up horribly. Pretty much, the wife ends up just going along with everything, and the name still exists, and now her son's working for the names. And I'm just like, this is bullshit. I'm glad this is over.
So do you think it was because that way they can make another miniseries, make it an ongoing?
I don't know, but I'll tell you, if they do, I'm not buying it.
That's fair.
I bought 9 issues, and that was about 7 or 8 too many.
9 was enough. You're done. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just, like I said, I enjoyed the concept at the beginning, and they just weren't able to pull it out and do it well. Okay. Which is disappointing because Peter Milligan's written some very good stuff in the past.
Yeah.
So I don't know if maybe he just stopped caring about it, or I don't know. But it's over. So you won't have to hear me talk about it anymore. Now I can move on to something else. Like one of the other 150 Dynamite books I have to read.
How is your big Dynamite quest going?
Okay, so far it's going really well. I read all of the Robert Jordan adaptation of Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time. 35 issues. Really good. There were some weird time jumping things that didn't make a lot of sense, but overall, very good series. I've read 3 different versions of Green Hornet, most of which were all right. I read the Kevin Smith version, and I knew it was a Kevin Smith version because the dialogue was kind of weird.
Okay.
But as far as the story, I thought it was all right. There was a 1-issue spin-off. Well, there was a spin-off series of that I had 1 issue of that was terrible.
Who wrote that one? Do you remember?
I do not remember. I know it was not Kevin Smith that wrote it, but it spun out of Kevin Smith's run. It was called Green Hornet Legacy or something like that. I don't know. It was terrible. Don't read that shit. There was an adaptation of one of the Dresden, or it wasn't even an adaptation. It was a comic form of the Dresden Files books.
Okay. Yep. The Jim Butcher series.
The Jim Butcher's Dresden Files, written by Jim Butcher.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
that was nice, and it was in continuity with the novels. So like there was something that happened. There was one of the characters was like, yeah, this happened, and in the editor's note, it's in the novel. Da da da. So that was kind of interesting.
That is
so
super
it's part
cool.
of canon. So that's interesting. That's pretty much all I've read so far. I have a lot of other stuff to read. There's some Red Sonja stuff in there. There's the Legendaries, which I found out is actually it's steampunk versions of other Dynamite characters.
I actually saw that at the comic store during Free Comic Book Day, and I saw that, I'm like, oh,
but
Jay.
Every cover I've seen so far has been like the female character, so I just
of course.
assumed it was a play on words, like they're talking about their asses. But no, it's just it's steampunk versions of other Dynamite characters. So I've got that to look forward to.
Yeah.
But I got a lot of other stuff on there, so I'm actually excited. I've been reading more comics than I've been watching TV, which to me is a good thing.
That is an absolutely good thing. So as you know, tomorrow my palette comes back from C2B2 with my stack of Invincibles.
Yes.
So I'm going to take every road trip I go on. I'm taking 6 trades with me and just going to try to.
What are you going to do on the trip back?
Watch a movie.
Okay.
There's a couple of Disney nature films I haven't watched yet. Yeah. Maybe I'll watch Chimpanzees again.
Brush up on your guerrilla warfare.
Delightful. So next week we're going to be a little bit early. I don't think you and I have talked about it. We'll discuss it off air.
Surprise to me.
We'll be a little bit early next week. Bye, guys.
See ya.